All right, let's dive into one of the most talked about books out there, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Today, we're going to unpack the simple yet profound secret behind how you can build good habits and, maybe even more importantly, actually make them stick for good. You know the drill, right? We've all been there. You start a new routine, you're full of motivation, and then, a few weeks later, you're right back where you started. We always think we need some huge, grand gesture to change our lives. But what if the answer isn't about going big at all? What if it's about going incredibly, almost invisibly small? So here it is, the central idea of the entire book. Forget about massive transformations. The real secret is just getting 1% better. It's this completely counterintuitive idea that real, lasting change comes from the compound interest of tiny daily improvements.
I mean, think about it. A choice that's just 1% better or 1% worse seems totally insignificant in the moment. But when you stretch that out over a year, the math is just staggering. The difference isn't small. It's absolutely astronomical. It just goes to show you that success isn't some big, life-altering event. It's the quiet product of your daily habits.
Yeah, you heard that right. 37 times better. That's not just a little improvement. That is the explosive power of compounding. It's all these tiny actions building on top of each other until something incredible happens.
But here's the catch, and this is super important. We expect progress to be this nice straight line, but it's not. For weeks, sometimes even months, your efforts can feel completely useless. This is what James Clear calls the valley of disappointment. He uses this great analogy of bamboo. It spends years building roots underground, but you can't even see, and then boom, it shoots 90 feet in the air in just a few weeks. Your habits are doing the exact same thing, just building potential under the surface.
So how do you push through that valley of disappointment? Well, it requires a major shift in how you think. It all starts with forgetting about goals and focusing completely on your systems instead. So what's the difference really? A goal is the result you want. It's run a marathon. It's a finish line. A system, on the other hand, is the process that gets you to that result. It's the simple act of putting on your running shoes every single morning. It's not a finish line. It's a starting line that you commit to day in and day out. Look, goals are great for setting a direction, but it's the systems that actually make the progress. And this leads to probably the most famous line from the book. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Your system is what's going to deliver for you, consistently. But then he takes it a step further, to a level that's even deeper and more powerful than systems. The book argues that the most profound change isn't really about what you do or what you get. Fundamentally, your habits are not about having something. They're about becoming someone. And this is the whole idea behind identity-based habits. See, your identity isn't some fixed thing. It actually emerges from what you do. So think of it this way. Every action you take is like casting a vote for the type of person you want to be. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's just to win the election, to cast more votes for your new identity than your old one, day after day.
Okay, so we've covered the why, focusing on systems and identity. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty how. What's the actual mechanism running in our brains that powers every single habit we have, good or bad?
It turns out every habit you have runs on this simple 4-step loop in your brain. It always starts with a cue, which leads to a craving, which motivates a response, which provides a reward. This is basically the hidden engine running your daily life. Let's break that down with a super common one, your phone. The cue is your phone buzzing. The craving is that little itch to see what the notification is. The response is you picking up the phone. And the reward is the satisfaction of seeing the message. That reward reinforces the whole loop, making you way more likely to do it again the next time your phone buzzes. So, if every single habit runs on that loop, how do we take control? This is where the book gets so practical and given us a simple toolkit, almost like a user's manual for our behavior. It's called the 4 Laws of Behavior Change. And here's the entire framework. What's so brilliant is that each law targets one of those 4 steps in the habit loop we just talked about. If you want to build a good habit, you make the process obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. And if you want to break a bad one, you just flip it. You make it invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. It's so elegant. All right, Law 1 is all about the cue. Make it obvious. We are way more likely to act on things that are right in front of us. So, design your environment for success.
Want to practice guitar more? Don't hide it in a case, put it on a stand right in the middle of your living room. A fantastic trick for this is called habit stacking. You just piggyback a new habit onto one you already do. So, after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. Easy.
Law 2 targets that craving. Make it attractive. You know, one of the most powerful things you can do is join a group where the thing you want to do is just the normal behavior. We're so influenced by the people around us. And another huge one is to just reframe how you talk about it. You don't have to go for a run. You get to build endurance. That little shift from have to get to makes all the difference.
Law 3 taps into a universal human truth. We are all wired to take the path of least resistance. So make your good habits easy, reduce the friction, lay out your gym clothes the night before. The best tool here is the 2-minute rule. You just scale down any new habit so it takes less than 2 minutes to do. Read before bed becomes read 1 page. The goal isn't to do everything at once. It's to make it ridiculously easy to start.
And finally, Law 4 is what makes sure you'll come back and do it again. Make it satisfying. Our brains love immediate rewards, so give yourself one. Even something as simple as putting a big X on a calendar after you do your habit gives you this little hit of satisfaction. Seeing that chain of X's grow is its own reward. And this leads to the cardinal rule of habit change. You can miss once, that's okay, but never miss twice.
Okay, so we have the philosophy, we've got the mechanism, and we have the tools. But what's the real secret to making this all work not just for a month, but for a lifetime? What's the secret to achieving true mastery?
There's this great analogy of a stone cutter. He's just hammering away at this huge rock. 100 times he hits it and nothing happens, not a single crack. But on the 101st blow, it splits in two. Now we all know it wasn't that one last hit that did it, right? It was all the hits that came before it. Breakthroughs are just like that. They're the result of all the actions that came before, the ones that felt like they weren't making any difference at all.
So when you look at the people at the absolute top of their game, what really sets them apart? Is it some secret talent? Is it luck? Some heroic effort? Well, according to Atomic Habits, it's something way less glamorous, but 1,000 times more powerful.
And this, right here, might be the most surprising and powerful truth in the whole book. The greatest threat to your success isn't failing, it's boredom. It's what happens when a habit becomes automatic and the novelty wears off. The work just becomes routine. And that is the exact point where most people give up.
This is the ultimate difference maker. I mean, anyone can put in the work when they feel good and motivated. But the real masters, they're the ones who show up even when they're bored. They get the professionals stick to the schedule, while amateurs let life get in the way. They learn to fall in love with the process itself, and that, right there, is the real secret to making small habits deliver a lifetime of amazing results.